Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Eliezer Melamed, Shlita. We begin a new week of learning, and we ask that you please continue davening for Chalei Tzvah Haganah Yisrael, for Shlom Chol Petua Yisrael. One more hostage we need to have come home for Kvuras Yisrael. We cannot stop davening until that family sees its closure. Klal Yisrael can begin to heal, we hope. And we dedicate our learning each day to Nishmat and Daniel Shimon ben Harav Deron V'Shel Shem Kim Damo. Please forgive my voice. Lost my voice a little bit over the weekend, but this too shall pass. And also just a PSA of sorts that at the end of the month I'll be traveling to Israel for a bit of an extended work trip. And the learning will go as long as we can until I leave, but then we'll resume when I return to Mitzvah Hashem. So we're actually going to finish this section today on Monday, and then we'll begin a new section tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem. But this just kind of wraps up everything we've been discussing, and it's called Od Pratei Dinim. Kfi shelamanu l'chatchila roi lahachmer gedas hamagad avram shel livso shlosh psios besoch arba amish lefnei mispalo. So we learn that it's best to follow the stringent opinion of the Magen Avram to try and not walk in front or near anyone that is davening Shemoneh Esreh within those 4 amos, within the range. Sometimes, if you're davening and you want to continue davening, you want to do it a little bit longer, but you don't want to hold up the person in front of you because you know that he's going to not be able to take the 3 steps back because you're behind him. And then when you're waiting and he's thinking about this, in that instance you could follow the lenient opinion. And if it's not directly behind you, but it's merely just in the area and the range, then you could be more makel, you can be more lenient, and you could step back. If a person knows he's going to daven a longer Shemoneh Esreh, he can ask the people in front of him beforehand that they don't have to wait for him until he finishes. Because since they have permission, then they know they could take their 3 steps back right away. If someone is directly in front of you, then obviously even though you have the permission, but you should take the 3 steps backwards, again, on an angle, not directly into the person behind you, but sort of away from them. If let's say someone's leading the davening, he's davening for the Amud, and behind him there is someone davening, and he has to begin the repetition of the Shemoneh Esreh, you could follow the lenient opinion of the Eli Rabbah, as long as it's not directly in your path, you could take the steps backwards. And if the person is directly behind you, then you could again go on an angle, move to sidestep, so to speak, and then you go back to your place to begin the repetition. So as a rule, so if a person knows that he's going to daven a longer Shemoneh Esreh, you should make sure not to daven behind someone that you cause the person in front of you any sort of discomfort or any inconvenience because he has to wait to take the 3 steps back. And certainly you shouldn't daven behind the chazan or the rabbi that it would cause any inconvenience for those individuals either. And in a similar vein, one should not walk in front of the chazan who's saying the repetition of the Shemoneh Esreh or someone saying Kaddish in the same way that you wouldn't walk in front of somebody saying Shemoneh Esreh. So we have a machlokas on the acharonim. If a minor is davening, someone who's not bar mitzvah, a child, does have the same rule. That maybe you're not allowed to walk in front or sit in front of the dalat amos of a child saying Shemoneh Esreh. Since this is only rabbinic law, then certainly one could be lenient in this matter, but we also try to understand, there's also a din of chinuch, we want to try and be mahader in the halacha. We want to beautify the halacha, so we try to be machmer when possible, so it's obviously a wise thing to do, that anyone who's davening Shemoneh Esreh, you shouldn't enter into their airspace. Again, that's the word we use. depending on whether you take the stringent opinion or the lenient opinion. But obviously, you don't want to interfere and interrupt with anyone's Shemoneh Esreh. So certainly, we don't want to interrupt our learning as we begin a new week. Please continue davening for Chalei Tzvah and Yisrael for Shalom Chol Pitzui Yisrael. Return of our final hostage, L'Kuras Yisrael, Nishmat Daniel Shimon Rav Dan Mishal Shem Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, great week ahead. We'll see you next time.